Please rise for the arrival of the official party. Please be seated. Beginning today's ceremony is Lieutenant 1st Armored Regiment. Accompanying him will be Command Sergeant Major Richard Meeker, the Battalion Command Sergeant Major. At this time, troops the line, performing the final inspection of these fine young warriors before they come to the force. The form of inspection you're watching dates back to the time of Peter the Great. Historically, prior to soldiers marching off to war, the commanding officer would inspect their soldiers to ensure that they were prepared for battle. They wear uniforms, weapons, and equipment, as well as their strength and spirit of fighting men, developed into a ceremonial tradition. Today, then, it provides commanders the opportunity to see their troops and assess their fitness. The 81st Armored was activated on 1 October 1941 in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Born in the dark days leading to involvement in World War II, the nation called on the Red Lions, and the regiment answered their call of duty. In early 1942, the 81st Armored was moved to California with orders to defend possible Japanese attacks. While stationed there, it was redesignated as the 81st Tank Battalion 3. Shortly after the service in California, the 81st Tank Battalion headed to Europe in July of 1944 to participate in the battles for Normandy and northern France. The 2nd Battalion formed as Company B, 81st Armored, and was successful in liberating Luxembourg City on 10 September 1944. As December 1944 crept closer, the battalion entered the forest in the Alsace region of France. The battalion then rested and refitted into Germany. The unit spearheaded the 5th Armored Division's drive the Rhine River and became the first unit to cross the Siegfried Line into Rhineland, crossing the Rhine in March 1945. It drove to the Elbe 45 minutes from Berlin and was keeping up German resistance in the 9th Army sector. Upon returning to the battlefield of Europe, the battalion was deactivated in the fall of 1945. Except for 7 months in 1950, it was active from 1948 to 1956 with the 5th Armored Division at Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. 62, the 81st and the 94th Tank Battalions and the 505th Replacement Company were redesignated as the 81st Armored under the Combat Arms Regimental System. The 1st Battalions were assigned to the 1st Armored Division in February of last year. The 2nd Battalion was in 1971 and reactivated in 1972 in West Germany. It was then deactivated in 1989. The 2nd Battalion was once again reactivated in January 1996 as part of the 1st Armored Training Brigade at Fort Knox, Kentucky. Since moved to Fort Benning, Georgia in 2011, the 81st Armored Regiment not only has trained Army soldiers but Marine tankers and our nation's allies as well. The 5th Squadron Pit Cavalry is the descendant of the 15th Cavalry, which was organized in February 1901 at the San Francisco. Immediately upon its organization in 1901, the 15th Cavalry embarked for the Philippines to quell an insurrection in the United States newly acquired territory. The fierce combat of Philippine generals against the Morelos forces forged the spirit of the regiment and fired a spirit exemplified in the motto the regiment chose for itself: all for one for all. Organization participated in close combat actions in Cuba, Mexico, and Europe during World War I. The regiment fought in Normandy, France, and Rhineland in Central Europe campaign. From 1952 to 1987, elements of the regiment served across the Army from Korea and in Vietnam, as well as the United States. In March 1987, 5th Regiment was assigned to the Training and Doctrine Command at Fort Knox, Kentucky. The squadron, as part of the 1st Armored Training Brigade, was charged with the mission of training 19 Delta Cavalry Scouts. What greater honor could be bestowed on the Distinguished Cavalry Regiment than charging it with the responsibility of training enlisted cavalry troopers from. In 2011, the 15th relocated here to Fort Benning, where it continues responsibility for training cavalry troopers for America's Army.
colors are presented. Command.
Please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain McCoy and remain standing for the national anthem.
I invite you to with me in your own prayer traditions as I pray in mine. God, with grateful hearts, we thank you for this graduation day. The leaders and graduating class that you have shown your grace and new favor. Today, prepare us for the new doors and prospects to be open and cause us to always be thankful as we are in this very moment. May these new soldiers exemplify character, embody integrity and faith, and be emboldened to be the change we so desperately need to see. Protect brothers and sisters in arms, serving both far and near, and to watch over this great nation as we remain united under your perfect care. From my lips to your ears, amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of 1st Battalion, 81st Armored Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Davis.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nathaniel Davis, the Battalion Commander of the 1st Battalion, 81st Armored Regiment. Thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony for Dog Troop, 5th Squadron, United States Cavalry, and Fury Company, 1st Battalion, 81st Armored Regiment. Welcome in person or virtually to Harmony Church on Fort, the home of Armor and Cavalry. To the soldiers of Dog Troop and Fury, congratulations on your remarkable achievement. It's been a long 22, or in the case of Fury Company, 23 weeks of grueling and rewarding training. We've observed your transformation from civilians into soldiers, and finally into 19 Delta Cavalry Scouts and 19 Kilo Armor Crewmen. 22 weeks ago, you arrived at the barracks behind me and met your attentive, demanding, and professional drill sergeants. You began training in earnest with the Thunder Run. You were quickly introduced to the physical fitness program, the Army values, and issued your very first M4 carbine. During the ensuing weeks, your mettle was tested on obstacle courses, the Confidence Tower, the Night Infiltration Course, and many long days on these rifle ranges. Later on, you trained on your warrior tasks and learned how to work as a team during your field training exercises. For the Scouts, after completing basic combat training, you built proficiency in reconnaissance and operations. learned how to establish observation posts and area and route reconnaissance. You were introduced to the Humvee, the Stryker, and the Bradley Cavalry Fighting Vehicle, and ended your journey with the final charge field training exercise. You learned how to be the eyes and ears of the Army. The tankers standing on your flank today will count on you to find and track the enemy, and commanders of all combat units will make rapid, well-informed tactical decisions based on the information you take from the enemy, by force if necessary. For the tankers, after completing basic combat training, you were then introduced to the M1 Abrams main battle tank, the most lethal and battle-tested tank in the world. It's an machine, as we saw earlier. You spent the last 12 weeks in the simulators on the tank gunnery range and in the training areas learning how to properly maintain, fuel, load, drive, shoot, and maneuver that magnificent of war. You have accomplished much through your training, ready to become a valuable member of a scout team or a tank crew in the operating force. I'm proud of everything that you have achieved and look forward to serving alongside you as you join the Army's ranks, dedicated to protecting and defending this great nation. Of course, we know these tankers and scouts would not be graduating today were it not for the outstanding training, development, and mentorship that they have received over their time here. I would like to recognize the Dog Troop Company command teams, drill sergeants, tank commanders, cavalry, and cadre for their hard work and dedication. You mold civilians into cavalry scouts and armored crewmen, and your performance and results are remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the Dog Troop and Company cadre. Mounted warriors, I want you to invest in this moment where all American enlisted scouts and tankers pass, as you formally join the armor branch, the combat arm of decision. You are surrounded with symbols and artifacts of our nation, our profession, and our combat arm. You are flanked by our state's flags and those of our territories with our national colors in front. These symbols of our great nation are guarded symbolically by armored vehicles of past battles. From the M4 Sherman, the workhorse of the armored divisions that helped win World War II, to the M1A1 Abrams main battle tank, which fought its way to Baghdad. You are the latest in the extraordinary line of American mounted warriors. This is a line that extends from Lieutenant Colonel William Washington's 1st Continental Light Dragoons, who charged and completed the double envelopment of British forces at the Battle of Cowpens during the American Revolution, to Brigadier General John Bennett's 1st Division of the United States Cavalry, who dismounted and held off Confederates for hours during the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, thereby saving the high ground for the Union. To the 1st United States tankers who trained for World War I under Dwight D. Eisenhower at Camp Colt, located on the same battlefield at Gettysburg, and then shipped off to Europe to serve under Colonel George S. Patton in the 1st U.S. Provisional Tank Brigade. To the United States tankers who attacked across Europe in World War II, from Normandy with the 81st Tank Battalion, of which some are for a few more moments, to Lieutenant Colonel Cretan W. Abrams' 37th Tank Battalion's relief of the beleaguered 101st Airborne Division at Bastogne during the Battle of the Bulge. To the United States tankers who honed their craft and successfully Soviet aggression to win the Cold War while fighting the communist enemy on the battlefield in Vietnam. To the United States Army scouts and tankers who expelled Saddam Hussein from Kuwait during Desert Storm and later marched to Baghdad in 3 weeks during Operation Iraqi Freedom, dismounted, and stayed to win the peace. Appreciate this moment here and now on this field as you join this proud legacy that has birthed and saved this nation throughout its 245-year history. I am proud of you, and I know that you will live up to that legacy. I leave you with a quote from one of the most famous U.S. Army mounted warriors ever, Staff Sergeant Don Collier, also known as Brad Pitt from the movie Fury. Whenever he talked about being a mounted warrior, he said, "Best job I ever had." I think you'll agree. Congratulations again, United States Scouts and Tankers. All for one, one for all, Red Knights, battle hard, forge the Thunderbolt, one force, one fight.
soldiers graduating today come from many parts of the United States. The flags of the 50 states displayed here today symbolize the broad base of our national defense. At the completion of each training cycle, soldiers are selected for awards based on their achievements in various areas of one station unit training. All the soldiers before you are eligible for these awards and have competed for them over the past 22 weeks. At this time, we will recognize the awardees for 181 Armor and 515 Cav. The drill sergeant on the cycle is presented to the drill sergeant who best expresses the qualities of leadership, honor, and whose performance contributed most to the successful completion of the training cycle. This cycle's recipient is 181 Armor, Drill Sergeant Chen. Drill Sergeant Chen is currently attending M1A2 Abrams Master Gunner School, which is why he's not in attendance. The Armor and Cavalry Leadership Award is presented to the soldier who has shown the most leadership skills throughout the cycle and the potential for future leadership roles. This cycle's awardee is PSC Everly. The Association of the United States Army George S. Patton Award is presented to the soldier of each training cycle who best expresses the qualities of leadership, honor, initiative, loyalty, high morale, courage, positive attitude, and consistent competitive spirit which inspires peers and cadre. This cycle's awardee is PVT Cook. The High Physical Fitness Award is presented to the soldier who achieved the highest on the final Army Combat Fitness test. This test consists of 6 events: the maximum repetition deadlift, standing power throw, hand release push-up, sprint drag carry, leg tuck, and 2-mile run. The cycle's awardee is PFC Durkis. The High Pistol Marksmanship Award is presented to the soldier who achieves the highest score on the M17 Pistol Marksmanship course. This cycle's awardee is PFC Wilder. The High Rifle Marksmanship Award is presented to the soldier who achieves the highest score on the M4 Carbine Rifle Marksmanship course. This cycle's awardee is Private Dowdy. The instructor of the cycle is presented to the instructors who contributed most to the successful mission of training soldiers. This cycle's recipient is Staff Sergeant Grubb. Outstanding Support Award is presented to the individual who made a significant contribution in support of the unit's mission. This cycle's support award recipient is Sergeant Jones.
Forward, march, up, on left, march, up, up, up.
515 Cavalry Squadron Commander and Command Sergeant Major will now present the awards to Dog Troop awardees. The Drill Sergeant of the cycle is presented to the Drill Sergeant who best expresses the qualities of leadership, honor, and whose performance contributed most to the successful completion of the training cycle. The cycle recipient is Drill Sergeant Smith. The Armor and Cavalry Leadership Award is presented to the soldier who has shown the most leadership skills throughout the cycle and the potential for future leadership roles. This cycle's awardee is Private Galmer. The Association of the United States Army George S. Patton Award is presented to the soldier of each training cycle who best expresses the qualities of leadership, honor, initiative, loyalty, high morale, courage, positive attitude, and consistent competitive spirit which inspires peers and cadre. The cycle's awardee is Private Miser. The High Physical Fitness Award is presented to the soldier who achieved the highest on the final Army Physical Fitness test. This test includes push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile run. The cycle's awardee is Private Miser. High Rifle Marksmanship Award is presented to the soldier who achieves the highest score on the M4 Carbine Rifle Marksmanship course. This cycle's awardee is Private Gunter. The instructor of the cycle is presented to the instructors who contributed most to the successful mission of training soldiers. This cycle's recipient is Staff Sergeant Gordon.
Hell yeah.
The leaders most responsible for training your soldiers are the drill sergeants. The Department of the Army carefully selects each drill sergeant from the top 10% of all staff sergeants and sergeants first class. The drill sergeant of the cycle is presented to the drill sergeant who best exemplifies the qualities of leadership and honor, and whose performance contributed most to the successful development of the armored crewman and cavalry scout you see before you. Reciting the drill sergeant creed today are the drill sergeants from 181 Armor and 515 Cav.
The drill sergeant creed. I am the drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically, mentally fit soldiers, capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standard of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest tradition of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I will not do myself. But first, last, and always, I am an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant.
Hey!
Nice. Beautiful. Look at the ball. Look at the ball. Leave me alone. You're not coming on the couch. Come here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Soldier's Creed is the standard for all soldiers to live by. The Soldier's Creed helps soldiers understand that despite very diverse backgrounds, all soldiers are warriors and members of a team. We invite all soldiers, both past and present, to stand and join us as the Armor and Cavalry Leadership Award recipients PFC Elberly and Private Gomer lead fellow soldiers in reciting the creed.
One soldier's creed! One soldier's creed! I'm a American soldier. I'm a warrior in every team. I serve the people of the United States and the I'll never take I'll never take defeat. I'll never quit. I'll never be a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough. Trained with wisdom, work, and skills. All of it in my heart. I put it to myself. I'm an expert, not an expert. I stand ready to deploy today, destroy, and in the United States of America, close combat. I'm going to freedom, America and life. I'm an American soldier.
Yes.
Pass in review.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the soldiers pass to your front, we invite you to take pictures, but please remain in your seat.
You've got
When
mail.
the national colors pass to your front, we ask that you please rise. Once the colors pass your location, you may be seated again. States Army Maneuver Center of Excellence Band is led by Drum Major Staff Sergeant Johnson and under the direction of First Sergeant Seeger. The commander for Fury Company is Captain Preston Haresi. Platoon for this cycle is 1st Platoon led by Drill Sergeant Keenan Kozak. The Drill Sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Drill Sergeant Thomas Russell. The Drill Sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Drill Sergeant Michaela Williams. The Color Guard is led by Fury Company Senior Drill Sergeant Isaiah Harris. The commander for Dog Troop is Company Anthony O'Neill. The Honor Platoon for this cycle is 1st Platoon led by Drill Sergeant Flores. The Drill Sergeant for 2nd Platoon is Drill Sergeant Manson.
Ready? Run!
The Drill Sergeant for 3rd Platoon is Drill Sergeant Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Army song. concludes the graduation ceremony. You may join your new warrior out on the parade field to take pictures. Please be patient while your soldier completes his or her out processing of the organization. Thank you for coming, and please have a safe trip home.
Yes, congratulations to all.